Mulliken. I'm here at the Follow Tour at Southern Wesleyan University. There's a coincidental event going on right now at Indiana Wesleyan. So total, over 1,200 kids' lives being changed this weekend as part of the Follow Tour. I'm here with Dr. Jim Dunn, who is the director over spiritual formation for the Wesleyan Church. He's going to be sharing tomorrow. And Dr. Jim, just tell us a little bit, how did the whole Follow Tour come about?
Well, the Follow Tour is something that we try to do and take it across the country, even across North America, making it accessible to kids, driving the cost down, building more leaders out of this whole movement. And it's something that we're taking a risk in doing, but as you can see, what a great time that kids are having. We had about a dozen or so at Southern Wesleyan that gave their lives to Christ tonight, I think.
Absolutely.
And I was thinking about watching those 4 boys that went up, that started that little path up there to the altar tonight. Those are 4 lives that are changed, and who knows, maybe 4 pastors, 4 youth pastors. And it's exactly why we do these conventions. And God wants to change lives, and he uses these events to do it.
And speaking of future youth pastors, I know you're sharing tomorrow about something that's you're very passionate about, and that's just that call to serve. Can you give us just a little tidbit about what you're going to be sharing, and just share the story? You may be sharing it tomorrow, but just share the story about your experience and your call to ministry at a Wesleyan Youth Convention.
Yeah, it's great. I was called to ministry at the age of 12 at the University of Illinois. Right. It was an International Wesleyan Youth Convention. It was 1978, so everybody knows how old I am now. But I was sitting next to my brother, actually, who is in heaven now, and I'm going to tell this story tomorrow. Wow. And he's a public school teacher, and he felt like he was called to be a public school teacher. And when I came back from the altar and committing my life to ministry, they didn't cover his category, you know. All they covered was just pastoral ministry and missionaries and being a pastor. And I came back, and he said, I feel like God's called me to be a teacher, but I guess that doesn't count. And, we're going to talk to the kids tomorrow about being a servant of Christ, first and foremost, and using the phrase out of the verse we're using on all the Follow Tour, that we would take up our cross and humbly follow the Lord's leadership in our lives. And if that's a call into vocational ministry, that's terrific. But for all of us, it's a call to serve. If you're called to be a teacher, if you're called to be somebody maybe even that ends up at Southern Wesleyan, to be a professor someday, that would be awesome. We're all called to serve the Lord. And so we're going to talk about taking up our cross and following Christ.
Now, this is, like I said, this is the first weekend. There are, I think, 9 of these events throughout the year. What other ones are you going to be sharing at this year?
Well, next weekend I'll be at Oklahoma Wesleyan and speaking the same message on taking up your cross and following Christ and answering a call to serve, a call to ministry. There are some in New York. There's some in South Dakota. There's one at Skyline Wesleyan in San Diego. And between myself and Scott Simmons, we're kind of splitting the duty of speaking at each of these and just having a great time challenging our students to answer the call to serve, the call to ministry all across the country.
Well, I just want to just thank you guys for making this happen, the investment that you have made in this tour. And for my mind, I don't know what the total dollar amount is, but to see those 4 kids, that's worth it. Yeah. So just thank you. And right headquarters, Dr. Jim Dunn, write him a thank you note, the whole department. They have made this thing happen, and I'm just blessed to be a part of it. Dr. Jim, thank you so much for everything.
Heath wasn't expecting the interview, but here it goes, reverse interview. He's been the director here at Southern Wesleyan for the Follow Tour and has done a lot of work that I don't even know about. Behind the scenes, has a great staff. How many people are working on this event here at Southern Wesleyan this weekend?
Oh my goodness, probably about 50 people if you count everybody in. And the cool thing is most of the people working are students. We really just wanted to focus and get them kind of involved because that's the whole point of this tour, is to build leaders and to make leaders. And between the admission staff and some of our people, probably around 50, and they have been super. When have you ever heard of a convention being ahead of schedule? At 3 o'clock today, had people sitting around. We're like, what do we do? I'm like, well, we're ahead of schedule. What do we do? No one knew what to do. So it's been great, man. We got great people working.
They had to come out here and blow up all these blow-up games, right? That's what you did with them. Heath, you've done a great job, and I want to say thank you. Just Google Heath Mulliken. You can thank him. You don't have to send a note to headquarters. Just send it to Heath. Thanks, Heath.